It's a fucking joke.
Heartfelt.
Oh, how could you say that?
I'm a dumbass.
That means you're gay.
No, God, please, no!
A man and a woman.
I'm kind of retarded. You are fake news.
Niggas.
I'm upset.
Be offended.
Do you love black people?
You ain't black.
I don't care.
Shawn Cav.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
How about new? Hot like a tamale.
Try to relax your anus.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Come on, man.
What is it, you period?
Oh, rim shot.
Five, four, three, two, one.
What's up, all you crazy capitalists, you witty whiskey enthusiasts? Welcome to the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast. I'm Ian.
And I'm Shawn.
And today, I'm going to do the intro a little bit different today. Today, we're going to talk about the Republican majority in Congress bringing up their first item on the agenda, abolishing the IRS, which I'm in favor of. And we're going to kind of discuss the positives and negatives of the whole situation and how it could affect American citizens and the government in general. We're also going to discuss the differences between constitutional carry, open carry, and permit carry, and how it relates to the training of IRS agents to carry and arrest people. It seems like a quiet push for civic compliance and removing opposition. Seems kind of scary to say the least, just in my opinion. But before we get into all that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, all that stuff. If there's any ideas or opinions that you have on the topics that we're bringing up, definitely make sure you leave them in the comments. We'll bring them up and we'll discuss them. And go to solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist to find all of our links and ways to stay up to date with us. Go to bit.ly/the Whiskey Capitalist merch for all of our merch, our fully stacked merch store, every item you could possibly think of. Well, maybe not everyone, but we have yet to put up our Whiskey Capitalist dildos. Condoms, just pull out. All right. With that, we are going to do the intro. Cool. There we go.
Yep, do it.
Who else in the level car say yeah?
Look at that big, juicy booty.
Hot like a tamale.
Be offended.
Do you love black people?
Negro.
You know the thing.
Here, next.
Don't be rude. You ain't black.
Shawn Cav.
You're going to have a flame coming out of your butthole.
Heartfelt. A man and a woman.
Oh, sorry. I thought I thought I would.
All good. Yeah, actually, you were saying the other day how like the intro kind of cut out a little early on you.
Did it do it to you?
It did it to me this time.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, well, like the countdown. I mean, like that intro, like our actual intro was fine,
Yeah.
but like for whatever reason, the countdown ended a little early. It caught me off guard. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what it did to me.
Headlights.
I was like, oh shit, and like I mean, at some point we might switch it up. You start, talking, but like it threw me off because I'm the one that first says something, and then so I'm still sitting there like, oh shit. And kind of like that other time where we started the intro or the countdown, and I'm like, God damn it! And
you weren't ready, yeah.
Exactly. I apologize again. I'm sorry. I was cranky.
It's all good. I don't give a shit.
I was hangry. I was on my period, something like that. I don't know. So
you want to get started with like the IRS vote?
Yeah. Do you want to? Did you have something pulled up for that, or do you want me to?
I didn't have anything pulled up for that, but I definitely wanted to talk about the fact that, like, this shouldn't have been a bipartisan vote. It really should. It should have been like for the American people. Just to kind of like basically get rid of what we currently have and then rebuild something that's more efficient, that actually works versus like our current system. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunate or just like predictable at this point that all the Democrats voted against it.
I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot. My complete opinion is I'm going to be a realist and think and understand that I don't think that there is a lot of chance that this is actually going to go through. The IRS, I don't think, is going anywhere because of this vote, because it has to go from the House to the Senate, and then Biden can.
And then somehow magically Biden's going to vote okay on it. He's going to vote, he's going to sign his name on it. Never.
No, he doesn't vote on it. It's a separate branch.
No, I'm saying he's not going to sign his name on it. He's not going to approve it.
Well, yeah, I mean, true, and also he can veto it if he wants to. So, but
he won't. He'll do that whole 3-day sitting on the desk to veto it, where it goes back to the House.
Yeah. So I think so it's mostly what's the fucking word? It's just like a fuck, I can't think.
It's how you say no without actually saying no.
Well, no,
it's passive aggressive. The whole
symbolic.
bit.
That's
symbolic. Okay.
Yeah, it's a symbolic step, but I think there are a couple of things that come from that. One, it will show people that are in the middle that are don't understand or don't know what side they want to take, independence, or anyone, especially coming up on 2024 and all that. I think it will show them blatantly that the left is voting in favor of the IRS, and they are the party of workers. They are the party of according, and they are the party of the little guy, right? But then they're voting for the IRS to still be a thing and fuck people over. And that's one. I'm going to try and do the no cussing thing. So
well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really hold yourself too accountable. If you get frustrated, you get frustrated. You're gonna
exactly. But I'm gonna try and sound smarter, which is already a difficult thing, and it's by itself. But I think that it's largely symbolic, but with that caveat of it showing people them voting for it, and then I also think that it is a good it's a good representation of the fact that maybe McCarthy didn't have a great voting record on certain things in the House, but I mean, he's with those concessions that he gave and with those things that he had to kind of fight for in order to get the speakership, he's at least doing what he said he was going to do. So
yes, I know. And he made a tweet earlier that was saying promise made, promises kept, or whatever like that. I was like, dude, it's a little early to be saying that. I would say, all right, yeah, I took a step in the right direction. Here we go. We put the vote into place. And
well, it was a promise that he was going to start the process of that. So he's not lying about that.
One of the promises.
Well,
so like
yeah,
he said, promises made, promises kept, and it's like,
maybe
yeah,
promise made, promise kept. You know what I mean? Like maybe not plural on that.
You really want to like judge him on the grammar, then yeah, like it's only been one thing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is like, all right, so if he keeps this promise and then like the rest of it goes nowhere, then can he is that like a justifiable thing to say? No, it's not. Like you didn't really hold up your end of the deal, you know.
Yeah.
So that was more or less my concern. I commented back on this thing saying like, I think it's a step on the right direction, but there's a lot more work left to be done. Essentially, like everything on that list needs to be addressed at the very minimal.
Yeah, I think but I mean, what I will say is I'm liking the direction that all of this is going. It's saying that I mean, they're saying that they're going to investigate Biden over over the documents that were found, which all these people, Brooklyn Defiant Dad, right?
Sure.
Dingleberry. I don't know if you saw that I, tweeted from the Whiskey Capitalist page, which I forgot that I was doing, but whatever, it's fine. That I messaged him because he was saying, oh yeah, Trump, this and Mar-a-Lago, whatever, and then
Right.
and then versus Biden, just had it and whatever. And I said, yeah, but Biden had it since he was VP.
And literally just today, they found a second set of documents in another location. I was like, so like it's more and more damning every time you turn around. And in fact, I have a good one for that. I can share this real fast.
Yes, please.
Just to kind of spread it out with a little bit of some funnies in here too. Oh, what am I doing? I have so many things up here on my screen. Hold on, I'm gonna find it because there's so many things open on my I have so many tabs. Here it is. Found it. Okay,
found it.
Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so this is funny. This is like comparing the two scenarios and how the FBI is going to handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Cracks me up.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely completely true. I don't know if you had the music or the audio down on that, but I couldn't.
Oh, I mean the audio is down, but like it doesn't matter. It's just like fucking images.
All right, so let me see. There is something that I saw that I am. It's hilarious, but also so sad. Okay, so it's Hakeem Jeffries when he did his speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the Democrat minority leader, right? So I mean,
right,
and that's just because the minority in the House, not because he's a black.
Whip Clark.
Wait.
My name into nomination as well for your friendship of strength. Speaker, American people.
Oh, you're going to go into the whole like this, not that.
Protect the public in a city.
Dude,
but
it's.
And for the people, the American moment of transition. Recognize direction. The answer to try to House Democrats, demagogues, over hatred.
There it is.
Dude,
demagogues,
it's
economic tree.
It's so bad.
Constitution.
Well, I've seen this clip like a bunch of times where he goes basically right through the alphabet. And
I just want to play it for whoever's watching right now because I just saw it like maybe 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So this is brand new for you.
Yeah, and people have to watch this. Even the small amount of people that we have watching our channel or whatever, if they don't know about it, well, here you go. You can laugh along with us and fucking facepalm. There's two.
House Democrats will always put American values over autocracy.
Sure.
Benevolence over bigotry. The Constitution over the cult. Democracy over demagogues. economic opportunity over extremism, freedom over fascism, governing over gaslighting, hopefulness over hatred, inclusion over isolation, justice over judicial overreach.
He couldn't stick to one word.
Knowledge over kangaroo courts, liberty over limitation, maturity over Mar-a-Lago.
Wait, hold on. He just said liberty, right?
He did his L's. Yeah, liberty over limitations.
But they were the ones taking away your liberty with the...
And they were also the ones running the kangaroo courts.
Yeah, okay, so we got that. And then what was there? The gaslighting.
Yeah, gaslighting was a whole other thing. I mean, if we really want to go back and like just look at all the news reports from 2020 forward and anything with coof in it, I mean, like, yeah, there's a lot of gaslighting and disinformation and whatever else you want to consider too.
So his G's, right? Was
his
that
G's was gaslighting? Yeah, government over gaslighting.
I thought it was, because they're the party of Biden, so I thought it was gonna be like geriatric over gaslighting. Like, I don't. Okay, let's get
normalcy over negativity.
Okay.
Well, we didn't even address the fact that he brought up, what was the M one? Back it up like 10 seconds.
Okay, hold on.
Because the M one, he goes against a location.
The Constitution over the cult.
You don't follow the Constitution.
Democracy
You are a cult.
Over demagogues. Economic opportunity over extremism.
Stick to one word, bro.
Freedom over fascism.
You're the fascist. Okay, go ahead.
Well, again, it's their perspective. They get it all wrong, but like, it's whatever. Move on. I just want to get to the M again.
Over hatred, inclusion over isolation, justice.
They put you isolated in your house. Okay.
Over judicial overreach, knowledge over kangaroo courts, liberty over limitation, maturity over Mar-a-Lago.
Maturity over Mar-a-Lago. Like, so, like, all right, I could see the correlation there if they want to try and say Trump was immature. Like, yeah, because he had some like immature tweets. Who gives a fuck? It's Twitter. Like like, are you really gonna like try and say that his like policies were immature or anything like that? Like, I think they were mature. I think he had a lot of really great policies.
Mature? Do you mean in the people that you have going to your side's like little drag shows? Like they're mature? Is that what you're talking about?
I hope they're not trying to say that any kind of children are mature when they're attending those types of shows, because they absolutely are not.
Oh, you said attend. Because they're 10 years old. That's what they're
10. Yeah, attending 10. Yeah, no, like wrong. But anyway, like maturity is like a state of being versus like a location. Mar-a-Lago. Okay, yeah, so
maturity. You're the ones that cry about.
It was his subtle stab at Trump, and it was better. But it got like, yeah, I know it does. It keeps going, but like to me, it was just like the whole house lost their mind when they heard that. I was like, really?
No, there's another one that they.
I know there's a few of them, but like that was the first one when they heard Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, they all started losing their minds.
Yeah. So
normalcy over negativity.
Isn't that ableist to say normal? Just want to.
Yeah. What if we need wheelchair ramps? Is that going to be normal?
What is normal? Okay, let's go on.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
What's a woman?
Over obstruction. People over politics.
Wait, obstruction. Do you mean like obstructing justice and getting in the way of investigations? Okay, we're going to hold you to that.
Quality of life issues over QAnon.
I don't need to comment on that one.
No, it's comical. It's comical when it comes to that one.
Well, I was watching the Jimmy Dore show and they were like, did fucking Big Bird come out after this? Like, what?
Today's letter is the letter Q.
Over racism, substance over.
Wait, what was the over racism?
Reason over racism.
Reason.
But you're not going to say anything
Raisins
about
over racism.
Yeah, so
oh my God. Triumph over tyranny, understanding over ugliness.
See, all right, pause it real quick.
Hold on, ugliness.
Yeah, but he did triumph over tyranny. He totally missed the perfect opportunity to throw Trump out there. That was a perfect opportunity. You go triumph over Trump. Like, he could just throw that out there, and that would have been like his greatest. Like, that would have made all the Democrats in the room lose their minds. Like, oh my God.
Oh, and he just said ugliness. Like, so Are the ugly people in, like, are they not offended?
Well, ugly people don't count for anything, apparently.
Oh, because they're not normal. Okay, cool.
They're
Sorry.
not normal. Yeah, we want normalcy. Don't forget about that. We like symmetrical faces. We like everyone to be between the heights of, was it 5'1" and 5'11"? Anywhere beyond that, you're an extremist, and extremist when it comes to height.
Does D stand for dingus? Okay, here we go.
Rights over voter suppression. Working family.
Voter suppression. Okay, so but you're fine with letting all of the illegals vote.
Well,
Is that-
they're giving them cell phones and they're giving them free housing and health care in order for them to be able to vote. Like, you're going to vote for us now because we just gave you an Apple phone, right? Right? We got your vote, right, guys? No. So this is politics today, buddy.
Let me see.
Voter suppression. Working families over the well-connected.
Okay,
Working families, which is a great segue into the whole IRS thing.
We'll come back to that in a second. And you
Yeah.
said well-connected because you can't say the wealthy because you are the corporatist party. That's what you are now, because you're standing up for all the billionaires, and because you're probably not going to go against the IRS. So we'll, pause.
Xenial over xenophobia. Yes.
Wait, what did he say over xenophobia?
Xenial, xenial. So it's like they want to have more different types of like ethnicity. So like instead of like xenophobia, so xenial.
Okay. I'm not scared of different people. I mean, I'm scared of idiots. Like, what is that a phobe?
Scared of idiots? I'm sure it's a thing. I mean, there's people who are scared of like small space, like claustrophobia and like all kinds of weird phobias of like stuff. So there's got to be something of like of what was yours again? Like of strange people or weird people or dumb people?
Just idiots. Is that like intellophobia, nullophobia?
We can over you can't do it, and zealous representation over zero-sum confrontation.
Okay, so he just went for as many words as he can at the end there.
No, it's naggers.
Oh,
naggers, yeah. Naggers before negus.
Annoying people. What is this word? So great. So great. This is what
I don't think I should say it.
This is basically what he was saying with all of that.
I'm a dumbass.
Here we go. So, with that, we're doing the abolish the FBI.
One day, maybe, but for right now, it's the IRS. And right now, like the first move was to basically eradicate that bill for the 87,000 IRS agents. And how many billions of dollars was it again? Do you remember? It was like something like $80 billion or not that much, but it was a shit ton of fucking money. It was definitely billions. I know that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. God damn it! No, I don't want to allow ads.
Tennessee, Mark Green. Congressman, it's great to have you.
I can hear it.
Fine. Allow ads. That's fine.
Wyden just said.
Just allow it. Let it happen. Just let it happen, Ian.
I'm gonna start cussing now.
All
right.
That's when I start cussing. I always start cussing every time I get a little frustrated.
Yeah.
And I do my best to try and like maintain my temper, but like I'm not good at it. I'm not good. I do try to monitor how angry I get at times, and it's tough. It's honestly tough.
It's not easy. Okay, real quick though, what we did have movies say in regards to what the Republicans can do in the House. I'm throwing out all hope. Any of their bills they send to the Senate will pass there. It's all about the investigations and impeachments for me. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think it's going to gain much ground with the Senate, but I am excited about the 14,000 files or 14,000 hours of footage, or I forget exactly I know it was 14,000, but I forget the increment or the what they're saying is of the J6 or 911-2 electric boogaloo. I'm excited to see all that footage because Gaetz was saying that was going to be released, so I'm excited. But let's see here. This is, probably should have just had this like pre-ready, but whatever. House Republicans to vote on bill abolishing the IRS, eliminating income tax. So that's what you were talking about, eliminating that.
Right.
So Republicans in the House of Representatives will vote on a bill that would abolish the IRS, eliminate the national income tax, and replace it with a national consumption tax. Fox News Digital has learned that the House will be voting on Georgia Republican Rep. Buddy Carter's reintroduced Fair Tax Act that aims to reel in the IRS and remove the national income tax as well as other taxes and replace them with a single consumption tax, which I'm fine with, just flat across the board.
Yeah, it's interesting to think like they're trying to reinvent like the taxing system, just because like, for so long we've already been in it. We kind of know the workarounds at times, like, when it comes to like what you can write off, what you can't write off and things like that. So it's like, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I think it is largely symbolic as comparatively to being actually beneficial. Like, I don't think it's going to actually go through, but I'm ecstatic about the almost like the Twitter files has been, where it's pointing it out, it's putting it out in the open, so it's more like the investigations, like Movie was saying, like movies. Right. I'm very excited about that. But the vote on the bill was made as part of the deal between House Speaker Kevin McCarthy of California and members of the House Freedom Caucus. And was pushed forward in his quest for the gavel last week. I guess that's Buddy Carter. I didn't know that. Let me see. So
there's over 400 people in the House. So it's almost impossible to like learn all their faces and all their names and whatnot. It's like there's key players that you pay attention to, and that's pretty much it.
I mean, unless they wear a funny bow tie or they try and attack another congressman, then like I don't really
Yeah, what's your signature look?
Yeah, exactly. Did you marry your brother?
Ooh, there's one of those.
One of them did, and she just got removed. Did you hear about that?
No.
Swalwell, Schiff, and Ilhan Omar all got removed from the Intelligence Committee.
That's good. They didn't really belong there in the first place.
Yeah, I put something up on Whiskey Capitalist Twitter too, saying like the fact that they were, I think it's more baffling that they were anywhere near anything having to do with the word intelligence. Like I think that's more like someone was like, oh, it was Rich from California or some.
Let me guess. Like it had like a fake avatar picture, and
nope.
like didn't. Wow.
Okay, but it's a trade out for that. So it was a real picture, but it was Rich from California, and then it had a transgender flag, a gay flag, and then something else. So I mean, it's either one. It's either the avatar, the emojis, or the name and a bunch of numbers. Like those three.
Yeah, it just makes it like a bogus like account. It's a way for someone to troll. And like again, like I understand, like we've had these conversations before when it comes to like anonymous accounts and whatnot, but like I understand like the point behind it, because then you can kind of say some of the things that and reveal things that you couldn't really do in a normal setting. I get that. But like a lot of those accounts out there are just out there just to fucking troll, and they're not providing anything, So to me, it's like, if you're not willing to put your name and your face out there next to the words that you're saying, you have no balls, but like, that's like, if you're in like an actual, you have no balls. And that's basically what it comes down to for like an online debate, discussion, whatever it is you want to say. Like, you can't stand by your own words because you don't want the repercussions coming back at you for what you might be saying and whatnot. So hopefully you're speaking truthfully and you're speaking from the heart for what you have to say. But a lot of those accounts aren't doing that. They're just out there to try and get a rise out of you.
I mean, we do say this as we're posting from the Whiskey Capitalist.
The Whiskey Capitalist has links to both of our accounts on it.
Exactly. But it is kind of funny. And I wonder how many people, when it's from the Whiskey Capitalist podcast and I put like whatever, because like it's a podcast. So how can you like be a person? Like, does the podcast identify as a human? Like, what is? So I wonder how many people are like, wait, huh?
Well, it just kind of sends him down like a rabbit hole then of like, oh, well, who said it? I don't know who said it. Do I want to attack this person? Do I not want to attack them? Like, so it's kind of like one of those like, you're going to choose door number 1 or door number 2. Door number 1 has Ian. Ian's going to like come back at you like this, or Shawn's going to come back at you like that, and then he's going to retweet you and say you're a moron. You know, like
I wonder, like once we get like a bigger following, I wonder how many people are going to be like, is this Ian or is this Shawn? Like, yeah, I think it's going to be kind of.
Or hopefully there's somebody else on staff that can just tweet for us. Like,
yeah, exactly.
on that page.
That's the goal.
That's all I want in life.
I just want someone to tweet for me, and then I will fire them if they say anything stupid.
That's it.
That's all I want to do. I want to be able to hire people so I can fire them. Don't clip this. Don't ever clip this. But whatever. Just kidding. So let me see. What does movie say? Let the naughty words fly. I think it's wash your mouth out with soap. Amnesty Day on YouTube. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to, sound a little more intelligent. I obviously, when you get pissed off, there's stuff that comes out, whatever. But I'd like to get monetized and here on YouTube and be able to have that chance. So if that means that I have to kind of,
is that one of the rules? No,
it's not. But I think the more cussing there is, the more, obviously spicy content and whatever, especially, the topics that we talk about, I'm sure it's looked at, differently. So just trying to see what happens. And I mean, on the last one, we got a lot of views. So, I mean, maybe the algorithm here, because I have it set for closed captions as well. So maybe the closed captioning on there, it picks it up and whatever. So
you think the computer that's like translating like the words that are coming out of our mouths cares that we're cursing? It has feelings? Oh, thank goodness I don't have to write the F word again.
Well, I mean, it could be automation that says if there's so many of these words that are from the captioning.
All right, yeah.
I'm just
lots of hypotheticals. I get it.
I've heard it from other people, so it's not completely a hypothetical, but yes, one of like the biggest streamers on there, the Moist Critical is his name, which I think is funny because how many people hate the word moist? Are you one of those people?
I don't really give a shit.
Okay, my sister hates the word moist, so I use it as much as possible around her. So back to this. Let's see real quick. Let me see.
I can bring it back up.
Okay, cool. I was trying to see if my little StreamYard Stream Deck thing worked, but I guess not. So co-sponsoring this Georgia-made legislation was my first act as a member of Congress and is fittingly the first bill I'm introducing in the 118th Congress, Carter said in a press release exclusively obtained by Fox News Digital. Instead of adding 87,000 new agents to weaponize the IRS against small business owners and middle America, this bill will eliminate the need for the department entirely by simplifying the tax code with provisions that work for the American people and encourage growth and innovation.
Wow. What a thought. What a thought to encourage people to want to start businesses and create better products versus, oh, well, how can I get around not having to pay any taxes on this if I need to?
Well, I think, there's tax loopholes. There's things if you're smart enough and you do enough research and you can take advantage of those. Hey, that's you doing your due diligence. I will not say that, Trump said the same thing when he's on the debate stage with Hillary. With the drunk grandma of death. He said that like you take advantage of the same tax codes and that you implemented. So like, why are you mad at me? I'm just going by what you did. So, and also I think a lot of people are just W-2 employees, so it just gets taken out. So a lot of 1099 employees and all that independent contractors and that they see it every quarter that they pay out. They pay taxes every quarter, so they see what gets taken out because they have to pay. They have to just write a check or send it straight out of to pay their taxes. So I mean, I think there's that disparity on that. But Carter continued on saying, armed unelected bureaucrats should not have more power over your paycheck than you do. Based. As a former small business owner, I understand the unnecessary burden our failing income tax system has on Americans. Rep. Jeff Duncan from South Carolina said, in a statement. The Fair Tax Act eliminates the tax code, replaces the income tax with a sales tax, and abolishes the abusive Internal Revenue Service. If enacted, this will invigorate the American taxpayer and help more Americans achieve the American dream. I agree. I mean, if we don't have to have this bureaucratic, wing of government that we have to pay all these workers, we have to pay all this stuff, I'm sure there's going to be, a workforce of some sort that has to go through all the information and go through the payment, all that. I'm sure there will be. So there will be, it's like not abolish the IRS and basically like take down all their buildings. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's going to be some sort of system that is brought up, like the tax department or whatever stupid name you want to call it.
Honestly, if they just made it as simple as like, where you could go to a website, like, so for example, you go to a website, you log in and it says like, okay, were you employed this entire year? Yep, I was. Okay. Now type in how much you earned and then type in how much, was taken out in taxes, essentially what you would get for your W-2. Type that in. Okay. Thank you. You're now registered that you paid that much money. So like it wouldn't be a requirement like, oh, well, you paid this much. Now I need you to pay a little bit more or anything like that. It's like, okay, you're registered for that amount. Like it's just a log. You're basically just cross-referencing what you've already paid.
Yeah.
So to me, that would make things so much simpler, and you wouldn't need more than just a few women working as secretaries in an office building. You could rent out the first floor of a strip mall, and then that could be your entire IRS.
Yeah. How about we only tax the government, like the government work, like the people that are, like what the government spends, because they're spending our money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we keep the records of all their money and where it's going and what they're paying for? I'm fine with that. That's great.
Well, we should be able to have clear transparency for like where all of our money has been going. So maybe when you log in, like let's my hypothetical website here, once you log in, you can actually go and you can see what percentages of your money went to what departments.
Yes. I'm trying to see what he said for triumph over tyranny. Okay, I was going to say, if he said transparency and this motherfucker doesn't want to be transparent with the IRS, we're going to call you on that. Okay, so, it doesn't work. Dang it. Let me see. Trying to see if this will, nope, it doesn't. There we go. Cool. All right, so let's see what else we have there. Oh, it looks familiar to what we have on our thumbnail. It's almost like I use that same picture. I support the fair tax because it simplifies our tax code. Yep. Bob Good from Virginia. That's Virginia, right? VA?
Yeah.
Okay. In a statement, he said this transforms the U.S. tax code from a mandatory, progressive, and convoluted system to a fully transparent and unbiased system, which does away with the IRS as we know it. It is good for our economy because it encourages work, savings, and investment. Thank you to my colleague, Buddy Carter, for leading this effort to simplify the system for American taxpayers. Kat Kamek. I'm very proud to once again I'm sorry. I'm never going to think of it any other.
I know.
As long as you are in politics, woman, you are fat hammock. And she's a Republican, so I'm gonna make fun of either side. I'm very proud to one. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. You can get these jokes. You get all the smoke. I'm very proud to once again co-sponsor the Fair Tax Act. What does sick mean? What does this mean?
Let's find out. What does it's going to be like some kind of like no, that's not it. It's like Urban Dictionary. That ain't it.
What did it pull up?
And we're talking about this in the fair tax. So sick.
No, I think sick is just like a
tax mean.
It's just because I've seen it on a wide range of things.
Okay, well, I don't know. Just gonna make me look like I'm retarded.
That's my job.
Yeah, well, let's just go ahead and say that we're retarded at this point because we don't know. We just read things. We read things, but we don't know what they mean.
Sick implies a misspelling. Okay, well then
what?
Okay, but what about SP? Didn't that mean spelling?
SP was misspelling. That's how it was always done ever since grade school.
Why we gotta change words?
My God, they reinvent shit. They reinvent shit when it comes to like the the AP and all that stuff. And they try and tell you like, no, this is the way it's always been. Like, what? No.
Fuck you, they fuck you, they fuck you.
Well, if you would study MLA formatting, you would know it's SIC and not SP, dumbass.
If anyone gets that gets that reference that I just said, then you are awesome. But did you not hear that at all?
No.
It was it's they fuck you, they fuck you, they fuck you with the definitions. Okay,
And I got
so
news for you. That means you're gay.
So Fat Hammock, I'm very proud of once again to co-sponsor the Fair Tax Unknown Word Act. We've seen a continued growth of the IRS and a persistent punishment of hardworking Americans via the tax code. What we're calling for is a simplified and fair code that works for all, not just some. I urge my colleagues to support this common sense legislation that fights back against the weaponization of the IRS and stops punishing those who.
Okay, so we don't need to go much further in this article, but like essentially what they're getting at is like they want to eliminate the entire IRS like system. Right now they want to reinvent it. They want to come back with a better system. And the most important thing was they definitely wanted to get rid of, and they mentioned this when McCarthy became speaker, was the 87,000 IRS agents. And more importantly, it's about the fact that those IRS agents are not elected and they're armed and like they're being trained in a manner that would basically put I would say middle America in threat, essentially, because like they're not training them to go after like billionaires that are evading like some type of tax code and like when I'm trying to evade spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're going after people who have $600 transactions in Venmo, and like that's been like the main example, like where they're trying to. If you have a small business and you've collected money through Venmo, like personal trainer or anything along those lines where like, it's like, or like you're a music teacher. How about that? You go around, you teach lessons. Now, all of a sudden, if you made $1,200 that year, well, knock, 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 here they come on your door because now they're looking into like how much money you actually made. And that's why a lot of these, things like PayPal, I think Venmo also wanted people's social security numbers when you logged back in. Like at one point, like I remember it must have been like earlier this year, like when I logged in, they wanted that information now. And so I have this pulled up here where this is showing.
How about new?
Sorry, I'm a little.
This is showing one of those training videos of where the people are doing. This is the IRS recruiting program is taking down a landscaping business owner who failed to properly report how he paid for his vehicles. Not taking down billionaires who use corporate jets for private trips. And this is like the argument right here. So this is like one of the training scenarios that they're going around and they're practicing with fake weapons right now. But like, essentially, these people, they're not police officers. It says it right in the video. These are not police officers. But for whatever reason, we're allowing them to arrest people and also hold people up with weapons.
Okay, and also real quick on that picture that was just shown, it looked like he can't even pull his pants up.
Well, if this is a side holster right here, his gun's falling out. Like the trigger's all the way out of like the holster right here. It should be all the way in. But
no, I'm talking about the blue
this right here.
And then it looks like, is that Jamal without pigmentation?
You mean Jeremy?
Is that unmelanated Jamal?
Well, this right here, like, you're right. The belt should probably be going in the same direction as like the vest here.
That's what I'm saying.
We have about like a 30-degree difference when it comes to like where the actual belt's going. So
I'm sorry, that's a pet peeve of mine. I'm sorry if you can't pick your goddamn pants up and you're over 13. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I totally get it. I mean, like, I don't even have a butt. I don't own a butt, so therefore, like, my pants will slide down. But I'm always picking them back up. My back slopes into the back of my legs, so I just kind of like,
I don't have that problem. Big booty Latino, Latinx, whatever. No, when I was a kid and I was a skater, like, yeah, of course I said. You know, when I was younger, I definitely had, what is his, Police Academy 27, IRS armed and confused.
Well, here, let's watch the video real quick.
Congress recently appropriated funds, so the IRS is currently looking to hire more special agents or CIs nationwide.
Let's look at that group of guys right here, guys and gals right here. Do any of these people look like they should be in law enforcement? Do any of them?
Okay,
this
so
guy looks like he's a skater boy that just like tried to evade the police. He looks like he could be trying to sell dime bags outside of high school. We have a middle-aged mom. We have her daughter over here who just got off a dance class, and then we have I don't know, an assortment of college teens.
Okay, so I think the blue from the original picture is that guy.
This guy.
So you said skater, so that checks out.
Yeah, bro.
And then this guy. So you just wear like old ass Adidas to your train, like that's what you're not actually gonna wear, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I get if it's training, if they're in training, if like, you know, like set up right now, so they're just kind of wearing whatever the fuck they're wearing. But at the same time, I hate the fact that they are wearing these police vests, and it says in the video, you'll hear it, they are not police. They have no police power. They are like training to be IRS agents. This to me is the biggest fucking joke of the entire thing.
All I gotta say is, in any food service or any customer service job I had to buy non-slip shoes before I started my training. This guy said
your own apron.
EIs nationwide.
You're looking around, starting around $60,000-$70,000, somewhere in there.
Hit puberty.
And then the advancements are you'll move up.
Okay, it slowed down, like, so it had to catch up, and so I didn't see his face before the voice started, the audio, and I was like, oh, what's this bitch about to say? And I'm like, oh my god, it's a dude.
Yeah, it's a dude. You need to hit puberty. You're kind of late to the game now.
I don't trust you if your balls haven't dropped yet.
Hey, we're gonna train lots of people here. We're gonna get them up to speed to be able to make arrests and hold guns and
Sounds
stuff.
like the movies is trying to make a weird voice. Like, that's what it sounded like to me when movies makes that like funny voice where he's making fun of someone. That's what it sounded like. I was like, movies? Are you in this video?
He's busy training people. Yeah.
You know, one level every year for the first few years. So.
An agent that's been in the field for a long time can top out at around $175,000 a year, as well as benefits.
$175,000.
Hold on, you need the foot chains and like the waist wrap too? Like,
yeah, but look at these people. Like, do you think any of these people are actual threats to you? Look, do you think anyone's going to chase you in those kind of skinny jeans?
No, he's waiting for a flood to happen.
You can't run in those things, buddy, and you don't even have socks. You're gonna get the worst blisters on your feet. Wear fucking socks, dude.
It's gonna chafe.
He's
got cankles too, by the way. Ew, gross.
Retirement. These aren't actual police officers.
These aren't actual police officers. They skim right past it so fast. In the transitional video where like your brain's not listening, you know, it's kind of like, oh, image, you know.
I wasn't wrong. Look at his pants. Go back just a little bit.
I'm going back a little bit. Let's go right here.
No. Okay, yeah. And then I'll tell you when to pause.
Yeah.
Benefits and retirement. These aren't actual police.
Okay. See? He's sagging. He ain't got no belt. Sorry.
Yeah, but again, because he's a skater boy. He said, see you later, boy. Oh, he wasn't good enough for her. Yeah, superstar. Playing with his guitar.
Police officers, they're students posing as special agents for the IRS, arresting a man who is wanted for tax evasion.
Who are you guys? What is this?
IRS.
You're under arrest. You're going to jail, buddy.
That seems super forward. Where's my Miranda rights? This is the worst training I've ever seen for a fucking. He slapped him on the arm. You're going to jail, buddy.
Well, what I will say is two things. For one, that's in Utah, so I'm guessing that's just one family. They're all sister wives and sister husbands or brother husbands, whatever. Two, after watching a lot of police, body cam videos and all that stuff, the Miranda rights are only when they start asking them questions. So it's not.
Well, you have to say it's still like, like they normally do it when they're cuffing them.
No, they normally do that when they start talking to him, like, and they put him in the car. So after
I've watched enough cops when I know that they always read the Miranda rights.
Wait, you're gonna take what's on ABC?
You mean like the when they arrest the rednecks and all like the drug dealers and whatnot, like or people evading arrest? Yeah, I kind of think that shit's kind of real. I mean, I'm gonna go with cops over this. I'm sorry.
Welcome to the IRS. Yesterday you were baristas or shirt folders. Today you're gun-toting beta babies.
Yeah, this guy's gun's falling out of his holster.
Agents for the IRS arrest.
And like this guy's not struggling at all, mind you, either. He's just kind of like going along with it. And now the whole thing is like this guy right here who's being arrested. He's supposed to be a landscape business owner where he evaded the IRS and bought a truck. And I guess he used a separate account from his business, or used his business account on his personal account or something along those lines. Whether it's really evading or he used it as a tax write-off, I don't know how you want to try and look at that. But either way, this isn't a scenario where it would require 12 agents to surround the guy with guns. It sounds like this should be like a letter. Hey, we have a question about your truck, and then we would like you to come and answer a few questions, or can we come and like meet you or talk on the phone? It could be a fucking phone call, but instead it's like they're training these people to go and make arrests for this. That's the part that bugs me out. I know.
A man who is wanted for tax evasion.
Who are you guys? What is this?
He says, who are you guys?
Look at me. I'm Hitler.
IRS. You're under arrest. You're going to jail, buddy.
Most people don't even know that the IRS has criminal investigators who use their accounting skills and their authority as a special IRS agent to help solve tax crimes. Under this scenario, these students find the
nerds. We need the ogre drop from like Revenge of the Nerds.
Well, this is just a way for them to, arrest white people.
Dodger Landscaping.
I mean, to be honest,
cash.
I mean, this is just a way for them to arrest white people.
Oh, well, I mean, if it's landscaping, and if they're going after any of the employees, it would be illegal immigrants. But that's not who they're going to go after. They're going to go after the white business owner.
Okay, I'm Hispanic or Latinx, whatever.
Deal with it, dude. Just get over it. Your people are really good at trimming hedges.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm Latinx, so I understand this, and I can say this.
I bet your landscaping looks beautiful.
Will you let me finish my point? Jesus Christ. I'm Latinx, so I understand, and I can say this. But are we really owning the companies? No,
that's what I was saying. You don't own the company. You work for the company.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to arrest the white people. You're making my point.
I did make your point. And I also said you probably have beautiful hedges at your house.
No, actually the Mexicans that do our landscaping suck a bag of dicks.
Go out there and show them how it's done.
No, I just gonna watch them and act white.
I don't want to act all like I know what I'm doing. I just
no, I'm just gonna stand there and be the 50% white that I am and just pick my belly button and be like, hey, let me see. No, you ain't doing that right.
I left you guys a 6-pack out here. Have fun. Thank you.
The owner of a landscaping company has several vehicles that may have been purchased from monies not reported through his business. After an undercover interview using a wireless mic, the special IRS agents find that Dodger, who is selling his business, has 2 sets of books.
What?
Wait. So now not only are they arresting people and they're arming these agents, they're illegally surveilling them now?
The IRS has superpowers now. If you didn't know,
they have to get warrants from the judge at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Like what's going on here, dude?
Landscaping work before?
Hold on. Do they have IRS canines?
It's going to be the nerdiest of dogs. It's probably going to be like greyhounds.
It's going to be like a fat bulldogs. Or they're gonna be chihuahuas. That's it. They're gonna be chihuahuas. It's gonna be a herd of chihuahuas that come out.
That's your people's dog, man.
Hey, fuck them dogs. Them dogs suck. Those dogs are those are the most easily puntable dogs. Again, don't clip anything that I'm saying right now. These are jokes, people.
Wait. It's a joke.
Yo, where is it?
I got it.
It's a fucking joke.
I'm kind of retarded.
Cuffs and first aid is generally what everybody wears, and then it just depends on the individual and what else they want to carry.
Wait, they found one to fit that?
I thought, is this woman like 4 months pregnant or something? Like, are you gonna let her go out there in the field with a bulletproof vest? Like this, I don't think she's cut out for the field work. Can we like just keep the women in a safer location? Like, put the men out there if you're going to put anybody out in the field, like where they could get shot or killed. Now, maybe that's me being a little misogynistic, but I'm sorry, but women can't do the same types of physical arrests that men can do. It would take 3 women to take down 1 strong man versus like, 2 normal sized dudes could take down 1 strong dude and like hold him down and arrest him. It's the amount of manpower, money, and expense. Like, what's it worth? Like, are they really cut out for that position?
Well, okay. Well, I'll let you be one type of bigot. You're a misogynist. I'll be another type of bigot and be like, so speaking of cut out, they're gonna have to cut her out of that. Like, that's how did they
look? She did no physical training.
Like 4 different vests.
Well, like there was no physical requirements when it came to this. It was just more like I filled out an application. They were looking for IRS agents. I got selected and I passed the interview. That's all this was. Like, look at her like arm and whatnot. Like, this to me looks like somebody who has never like really left the couch. I don't know. There's something about this arm that really just bothers me.
Is that IRS certified idiot? Is that what that stands for?
Criminal informant? I don't know.
Yeah. Criminally insane. I don't know.
No tasers. No tasers.
Mess with.
Okay.
No tasers, but we have guns.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And in the end, they're taught how to use their skills and finally arrest the mock offender.
How far up his back is he?
Wait,
Dude, go back. How far up were they pushing those arms, dude? Jesus.
Oh, wait, where is it? Right here? Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! He's touching his shoulder blades.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not really meant to be comfortable. It's not
No,
like, are you happy? Are you enjoying your arrest right now?
No, I mean, I'm not saying that, but like even the most ridiculous like arrests I've seen aren't that high up the back. Jesus. And
make sure you give me a 5-star rating on your arrest when I bring you into the jail.
I'm not trying to be a Karen and like Yelp the arrest experience, but at the same time, like, geez, like, calm down, woman.
Honestly, it's like if you're making the arrest, that's their chance to smash their head into like the ground and all that type of stuff. Like to really kind of like make them a little delirious and like kind of like that's when you can really like maneuver their arms and whatnot. So like this whole standing arrest thing is someone who's being very cooperative.
Yeah, exactly.
And to me, it's like.
So the handcuffing doesn't fit the situation. Like if they were on the ground, yes,
No.
I understand that. I understand
the freaking arms up. Yeah.
But like if they're standing up and complying, then why do you need to be a dick? And for 2, how are we going to trust anyone arresting someone when they're wearing like a Southern tablecloth?
And also, like this girl looks like she's probably like maybe like I don't know, 18. She just got out of high
How
school.
to use their skills and
Let's go back because like you can
certifiable idiot. Yeah, exactly.
Here you go. She's probably like 22 years old or something like that, just right out of college, and like just figuring out like, oh well, I'm gonna try being an IRS agent. But you didn't cut out for being a police officer, I guess.
Well, she's
other option.
She's at least good with putting caterpillars on her face. Jesus.
Yeah, the makeup game is thick, but like no.
in the end, they're taught how to use their skills and finally arrest the
You're
mock
arrested,
offender.
bro.
But you want to identify, hey, police, we're here with an arrest warrant. We're going to be taking.
Hey, police. No, you're not police. You say IRS agent. Don't fuck that up, because then if you can say, oh, well, like what you're being arrested for? Do you know who was arresting you? Oh, no, they said they were the police. Oh, they're not the police. Oh, well, then like I was told false information. I should be let go.
Yeah, and is it like, are they just trying to look cool by like holding their hands up here, like on the thing, just like a cop? Like,
Can you
I mean, honestly, I can attest to this because, like, you know, I'll do some like running outside, and I have like a weighted vest that I'll use occasionally. And if you're walking while wearing a weighted vest, you have nowhere to really put your arms that's comfortable because your arms kind of like stick out further when you're wearing those. So doing this is kind of like just kind of like a go-to. It feels comfortable, like you're just kind of hanging your arms there.
If you don't, you look like the little brother from A Christmas Story.
Christmas Story. It's like trying to put your arms down. I can't put my arms down.
Oh God!
It's like put them down when you get to school.
Yeah, and come on, dude. At least turn your hat around, like backwards cap while you're like.
Oh, come on. He's going for it. Most fed. Like, how much more fed can I possibly be? Give me some fucking Oakleys.
Yeah, exactly.
Or some pit vipers or something, please.
The jail today, okay? That's what they want to know because they're going to start asking questions like I did. Who are you?
And look at this woman. Do you think she has any business being out in the field? No, that's someone's mom.
No, she was like, oh, well, I used to make lemonade and put it out for people. And so, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, she has no business being out in the field. She has no business being out in the field. She has no business being out in the field. This guy needs a lot more discipline before going out in the field. Like, this is just like
no business going out in the field.
What's that?
He has no business going out in the field.
At this point, he's got no business being out there either. This is just like a terrible little like pocket of people that they picked for these agents. So like, again, if these were the
is Goldberg over here.
Yeah, he's the only one that would actually be like intimidating for like an arrest or any type of situation where you actually be like, well, what's going on, officer? Like, oh, I'm not actually an officer. So then what's the problem? Why are you here?
Well, yeah,
you know?
It's more like Bronsberg, but we'll leave it at Goldberg. And he also has the Oakley. So I mean, like, he's, you know,
yeah,
he's got some of it.
Okay, what are you doing? Why are you putting me in cuffs? What did I do?
There you go.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
But like, so one of the things that I noticed when watching this and whatnot is like, you know, so the Democrats have always, you know, like in this current situation, they wanted those people working. They wanted those 87,000 IRS agents, no matter how unqualified they might be. That's what they wanted out in the field, going and making arrests for $600 Venmo transactions.
Yeah.
But what's the other thing that like it was right in front of our faces, but like they don't want us having is guns, you know? So therefore they have these IRS agents armed, making arrests with guns, mind you, and they don't want anyone to have guns essentially when it comes to like US citizens. So and like just recently, like Florida has been making a move for having constitutional carry as well, which constitutional carry is like your right to be able to conceal carry essentially without needing a permit or anything like that. So you can like, you know,
so Florida man stories are going to be so much better.
Well, the thing is, you know, and like I think, you know, constitutional carry is, you know, I do believe that is under the Second Amendment. Like, you know, I know there's different interpretations and different states have different views about like, you know, what limitations might go with like the 2A rights and whatnot. But I honestly do believe that constitutional carry is the most clear-cut way to honestly like keep everybody safe and protected, and also like being able to
not
themselves.
Be infringed.
Yeah, well, that would be the easiest way to try to explain this thing. But like, you know, a lot of these states that have these constitutional carries, the reason why there might not be as many incidences where like there's not as many mass murders with armed, like, you know, like armed assailants is because of the fact that there's on chance a good guy with a gun in like the room or the restaurant or the bar or the bank or wherever it might be. And that's typically all you need to deter somebody a little bit. Now, you can't say that that's going to work in all situations, because there's going to be like the mentally insane that will just be like, all right, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go out. I'm going to kill myself after I'm done shooting up people or whatever the situation might be, like El Paso or Uvalde or any of these types of school shootings and like different scenarios like that where there's going to be like the criminally insane essentially with weapons. You can't
just real quick, just to put it straight out there. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Period. I don't. If you break the law, understandable. If there are other things that if you lose your you lose your right to because you commit crimes and because you do other things. Different, but the right of people to keep and bear arms. If you are a felon, completely understandable that you probably shouldn't own a gun because
you've lost your rights. You forfeited
your right to be a part of polite society. But the right of the people, the general population, to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Just like in Philadelphia, I think it was, where they had the armed security at the gas station. They haven't seen any more crime. Because it was good guys with guns.
And sometimes that, like I said before, that's what you need. You need to have more good guys with weapons and people being trained properly and get rid of the stigma that surrounds carrying a weapon, because there's people who are honestly scared of others that carry a weapon. And I have plenty of friends who are all permitted carriers and whatnot for concealed carry. Cause being here in Pennsylvania, you need to have a permit. Yeah. And, you would never know. And that's the point. The point is you're not supposed to know. It's not supposed to be something that you stick on the open carry. Pennsylvania is also an open carry state. So I could just open carry, have it on the exterior of my clothes, going out attached to my belt or something like that, walking around, and that would be fine. There's no law that can stop me from doing that, but it's kind of frowned upon in businesses. There's certain types of buildings that you're not allowed to open carry. Obviously, banks, federal buildings, you're not allowed to open carry. Even though you are in a state that's open carry, you can't open carry inside federal.
Yeah, because that's a private business, or that is something, but the government cannot infringe on your rights to be able to carry that. Now, a private business, being that they are a private business, they are able to say, we don't allow that in our business. But that doesn't mean you can't walk around the damn street.
Yeah, but even with a private business, it's you're within the state. So then the state has, I think that Trump's kind of a small businesses
trigger.
Right, I'm just kind of saying that I think that it kind of falls.
You said Trump. I'm triggered.
You're triggered by Trump. Yeah, well, oh God, oh no. But
that guy been? I'm sorry. I know that was.
I don't know, but still, either way, I'm just saying that there's certain situations, even in an open carry state, where you can't carry within the building. Obviously, federal buildings and whatnot is the biggest example. Mm-hmm. But in a constitutional carry state, you can, and there's you have to look into every single state as to where you're living and what's acceptable and this and that. So it's important that you research and you kind of look into what your state requires. And what stipulations are out there for what you're doing. But for the most part, for example, where I live in Pennsylvania, the closest states to me are New Jersey and New York, and both of those, it's impossible to even carry, period, without being ex-police or a federal agent or anything like that.
Wasn't there something in New York that just went on with concealed carry or
there was something about they were trying to allow people to be able to get concealed carry. Same thing with New Jersey. They were going to allow for a certain number of permits. I still think you have to jump through a shit ton of hoops in order to make it happen. So it's hey, we're going to make it accessible, but not really accessible in those types of terms. Yeah. So I think if you really wanted to be able to carry, which if you live in New York, you really should, just because it's sketchy as fuck there.
Yeah, I heard that Illinois just passed a law banning assault rifles because Chicago is so safe.
No, yeah, because handguns aren't causing a ton of death in Chicago or nothing like that either. But Again, like it's all these optics, and like the thing is, like if you
they start with the assault rifles because they know they can't start with handguns, but they start with assault rifles, and then once they pass that, then they go for the handguns because you can't stab anyone.
Right.
Sorry.
Anyway, my point being that like when it comes down to it, like you have to research where you're going and what you're doing, and because like I can't go into like another state, open carry or nothing like that, even though Pennsylvania is okay with it, which is why to me I think all the states need to be on this. It should be a federal, like just like a blanketed thing. If we have 2A rights, we should be able to like constitutionally concealed carry essentially wherever we're going, and then those people who are doing that obviously are the ones that are trained that should be trained or go to the range on a regular basis, something along those lines, to where they actually know how to operate their weapon, and they can be essentially like the saving grace if something was to actually happen. You hope that nothing ever happens, of course, like in that. I think everybody would hope that like you wish that you never had to like draw your weapon, you never had to fire it or anything like that, but in the situation where you might have to, it's important that you know how to operate it and you feel comfortable with it. Well, so the fact that they want to remove your right to be able to carry, or they want to make it more difficult than it already is for you to carry, or they want to infringe, or they want to create more laws that protect the attacker in someone's home than like the actual, like the homeowner. When those types of things are happening, you have to question, like, well, then why are they training all these new fucking agents that are going to be like carrying weapons? You're essentially putting 87,000 new guns out on the street in order to, collect a few $100,000, essentially, or maybe a couple of $1 million, maybe max. But like is that really the goal in this? Like, so you remove our right to be able to defend ourselves from the government overreach, right? Like, and they just put more guns out there.
But I thought guns were bad.
But only when the government can't control those guns.
Yeah. So it's that gaslighting thing that they're not going to do anymore.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring this up, and this was an Instagram post I came across, and I just found it so interesting because it's totally just like a one-sided type of point here, where 50% of the U.S. does not require a license to carry a gun. So it sounds like, okay, that's not that bad of a thing, but they make it into like, this is bad. Like, so you have to read it as a liberal. Okay. So let me read. So before, I just read it before as like a normal human being, where I was like, 50% of the US does not require a license to carry a gun. Now let me read it like a liberal. 50% of the US does not require a license to carry a gun. You're gonna get the with the secret word or whatever. Pee-wee's Playhouse. The U.S. is the only country in the world that has more guns than citizens. Now, notice this little asterisk. I'm going to come back to that in a second. It is also an outlier in gun violence. Americans are 25 times more likely to be killed in a gun homicide than people in other high-income countries. Now, we'll go back to that asterisk real quick. 120.5 guns per 100 people. Okay, so let's move the decimal point. Just a couple of spaces here, just to kind of like make it a little easier for people to digest that. Because when you see 100, okay, it sounds like a pretty big number, right? But then we go, how about 1 to 1.2? So 1.2 guns per one person. It almost sounds like it's a gun per person, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe a couple of those people have 2 guns.
Yeah, it's just it.
Oh like, my God. Do you see my point?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's just like when like Snopes or any of those like fact checkers or something, like what Tim Pool was talking about this earlier today. He was talking about how what they do to say that something is false is like they put something at the very end of a headline that's saying like they're talking about the canceling the gas stoves or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen.
I've been following some of that.
Yeah, so it says it's not because the concern that has been out has been because gas stoves lead to asthma in some cases. That's the claim, right? And as someone who does have asthma, mild asthma, and I have an inhaler and everything, that's bullshit. But what they did on the article, it says claim they're trying to there's allegations saying that the Biden administration is trying to is planning on banning gas stoves because of climate change concerns.
Right.
They are trying to ban gas stoves, but it's not because of climate change concerns. So then they're able to say it's a false statement.
Yeah, but so even if there's more guns than citizens, this is just the slightest little bit of a own. They're like, oh, we got you. It's 1 to 1.2, jackass. And it's that's not the win that you think it is.
People, math is very hard.
Yeah. And again, when you say 120 to 100, you're like, oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot more. No, let's move that decimal point. It's 1 to 1.2.
Okay, real quick, I need to address a comment that came in.
Sure.
Are they going to send in the backwards cap Tony Hawk first to bust in stealth mode on this? No, they are not going to send in Beto O'Rourke. Okay. Do a kickflip, bro.
Yeah. Despite the fact that 2022 saw more than 20,000 deaths by firearms, little asterisks, and 648 mass shootings, states continue to pass legislation allowing for permitless carry.
Oh, so you mean gang violence with the mass shootings, right?
Excluding the number of suicide deaths by firearms. That's a little asterisk that they had there. Now, 20,000 deaths. How many deaths are there typically in Chicago? In a year?
See.
Let's find that number,
so,
because just knowing that, or we should find how many people are dying in places like New York City and whatnot. Because
do you mean shooting deaths or gun violence death, or just deaths period?
Well, these are by deaths by firearm. So these are gun violence deaths
by firearm in Chicago. Statistics, just so it's not some.
I was trying to pull some of these things up before when we were getting started, but I only pulled up a couple of things that I think will be necessary later on. But in 648 mass shootings, over here I have some of the mass shooting ones, and the number one leader is California, which has crazy gun laws again. Texas and Florida, I mean, Texas does allow for constitutional carry, but this right here is not taking into consideration of the mass shootings where we're talking about Uvalde and also El Paso, where these people were just fucking insane, killing people out of just pure hatred.
I have the Chicago figures.
Okay.
Says so. Background: the United States reports the highest levels of firearm homicide and incidences compared to other high income countries. The focus causes. Yeah, shut up. Results. There were 2,254 victims of homicide by firearm in the city of Chicago. The overall rate across Chicago for all demographics was 12.9.
Okay, so let's hold on. Let's just stop right there. So you have 2,254 victims of homicide in just the city of Chicago alone. City of Chicago has laws against people being able to carry weapons, constitutional carry, or open carry, or anything like that. And they essentially were 10% of the deaths accounted for by firearms, if that is correct.
Oh, this is 2005 to 2010.
Oh, well, we need 2022, dude. Come on, man. Come on. It's probably going to be a lot higher, just to be perfectly honest. Then, if that was 10% back then, it's going to be way more now.
Crime stats by neighborhood, 2019 to 2021.
I'm going to pull you back up. I just had to do something. Go ahead.
God.
I know.
Here,
I want to make my points.
No, go ahead, make your point. I'll find. This
it's fine. No, so again, let's just use that number, and let's just say it's probably a little bit higher, since That was 2005 to 2010. Since then, there's been a lot more hatred and a lot more murders, obviously, and it's just been increasing. So we can say that they're easily, just the city of Chicago alone, easily 10% of those deaths that are being marked for deaths by firearms.
In Illinois, in 2020, there was 1,745 deaths.
Okay.
By firearm. There's yeah, I mean, yeah,
What do we have the highest numbers look like here? Kentucky, Louisiana, those are constitutional carry states.
We have Louisiana, Michigan, Detroit, Missouri, that's St. Louis, New York, it's 1052, North Carolina, Jesus, Texas.
Damn.
But how many of those? And then California is,
well, again, like now we have to like really look into like, okay, so like in what situations were these like
self-defense? Yeah.
What were self-defense?
Where was Rittenhouse?
You're looking into like, all right, and what was the context of the murder or the shooting or the death or whatever what was the situation? So like when they say there's 20,000 deaths, those could be like, all kinds of different types of deaths. It doesn't necessarily constitute just that those were like deaths from like mass shootings or anything like that, because they say like 648 just from mass shootings alone. I think there's a lot more context missing out of this statement, to say the very least.
So this is kind of interesting. So this is 2019. It says September 26th, right?
Okay.
So in 2019, by September 26th, there were already almost too shy of 2,000 shootings so far in 2019. Let's see, 7,000 guns per year that have been illegally owned or associated with the crime.
Illegally owned. Interesting, considering the biggest argument for this is against constitutional carry, because again, these gun violence deaths, are they being done by people that have permitted carry? No, not really. I would say it's a big NO.
It's weird. There's a couple colloquialisms that I will say. One is, if you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have them. I know it's cliche, but it's
so true. It's true.
And then another one is guns. They only offend you until the day that they defend you.
And again, like when I see these numbers, it's, we're not talking about like legal responsible gun owners. We're talking about people who are out there causing murders or armed robberies or anything like that, where someone might shoot and kill somebody. Either way, moving on.
It's usually turned this way too.
Yeah. All right. So permitless carry, also called constitutional carry or unrestricted carry, refers to a law that allows people to carry loaded concealed handguns in public without undergoing a background check, which is not true because, I guess if you're carrying without a background check, I could see that. I thought they were just like obtaining the gun. That would be false, but like, you're going to get a background check for buying the gun. So at one point you did get a background check if you have a gun legally and you're trying to conceal carry it. So either way, I think this one's bullshit. Undergo a background check, qualifying for and obtaining a license. Well, that's the whole point of it being a permitless carry. It's in the fucking name. Receive any kind of firearms training. Now, that's true. There are people out there that are morons that are going to end up like permitless carry because they just did not bother to get trained properly with their weapon, which is their fault. I don't know if it should be a requirement, but it would be a nice thought that if it was your first time buying a weapon, you sign up for the gun safety class that's happening at that firearms dealer, like, your first time purchasing a weapon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it would be a smart thing to do because then you know how to operate it. You feel more comfortable with your weapon. For example, like, I have guns and my wife was weird about them at first until like I signed her up for a gun safety class. I told her, it's like, listen, I'll go and I'll take a refresher with you. I'll go with you. So I took her to go and do it. And we went to the range and we were shooting guns, and she loved shooting revolvers and whatnot. Now she wants a revolver in the worst way. So it's like, great. You know, like, I'm glad now you feel comfortable around them. And now
you come home and she's sitting there playing Red Dead Redemption.
It's like Yosemite Sam. Yes, that's no firearms training just in case your head starts spinning. So like at this point they assume that liberals are just losing their mind. No training. And then
my head's only spinning because of your stupid logic and your dumb words.
Well, it's just like the fact I can poke holes in this thing so easily. It's like made of like soggy bread. I'm like,
this is the Swiss cheese argument.
Yeah. Your entire argument is Swiss cheese. I'm just poking holes in it right here. It's like, so no firearms training in case your head was spinning. Concealed carry licensing laws typically require training in order to carry firearms in public. Permitless carry laws do not, meaning that people who have never handled a gun can carry one concealed and loaded in public. Scary. The following states do not require permit to carry a gun. And then they have all these, and there's stipulations as to like how old, like, or 18, 21 year old, or 18 for military. So it's like, you know, all these examples of states. And like, this is like where they're trying to, again, like make you essentially hate these like states who are allowing people to have their 2A rights. And this is the silliest argument ever. Like, to me, this is an advertisement. Hey, everybody, you want to come to these states if you want to be able to feel like you can defend yourself out in public and not feel you need to run, cower, and get hide behind like a wooden chair or something.
It's also the opposite of a gun-free zone, right? Because criminals, you know, they want to go to the places where they're going to have the least.
Yeah, perfect example.
They're going to have the least opposition to them stealing shit from you or committing crimes.
Perfect example of that would be the Buffalo shooting. Where why did he choose Buffalo? Why did he go up there and do that? Because you can't own a fucking gun in New York. Can't. So again, this is like totally the wrong outlook. To me, this is like an advertisement for these states. Like, you can defend yourself here, everybody. Look into it. Go here.
A man and a woman.
12 of the 15 top states with the highest rate of gun deaths are states with permitless carry. Now, I found this to be kind of interesting, but again, I think a lot of this has to do with like the context of what we were talking about before, because like a lot of this is not probably considering the fact of people who are owning guns illegally or committing crimes. You know, like obviously, like, you know, we're talking about like high rates of gun deaths. We're assuming that means someone shooting somebody else, you know, like, or just faulty, like, you know,
self-defense,
all kinds of different situations when it comes down to it, or just even like faulty equipment, or who knows what. But like still and all, so like research has shown that firearm involving violent crime rates increased 29% after a state enacts the right to carry law, and a 22% increase in gun homicide for 3 years following the law's passage. Okay.
I like it to me, it's like, to me, it is, I believe, you know, like I've said a bunch of times, shall not be infringed. I believe fuck around and find out is a thing. And if you're going to be a criminal and you're going to try and commit a violent crime, then I believe that you should be able, and we are, according to the Constitution, which I know that's a thing that no one really, you know, goes by in the government anymore. But according to the Constitution, you have the right to defend yourself.
Well, the one thing that people, again, they're not talking about in this specific post, or just like in many of the posts when they're anti-gun or just anti like permitless carry, is the fact that like, all right, yeah, like these crimes or these percentages, like it goes up this amount, aren't happening from people who actually are responsible gun owners who go and get these permits. These permits or lack of permits, people who are responsible gun owners aren't the ones committing these crimes. We're talking about people who are irresponsible. There's irresponsible gun owners, and there's also illegal gun owners. You know, so those are the types of situations that we're really talking about when it comes to these types of crime increases with firearms.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I checked out on that. I had text messages that I got. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll quickly wrap that up. It's like, again, responsible gun owners, not part of these statistics.
Yeah.
We're talking about irresponsible gun owners because, again, when they're talking about permitless carry, okay, there's a very slim to small percentage chance of it's a legal gun owner committing these crimes, but it's possible. So I'm not going to rule it out. So there's irresponsible gun owners, and then there are illegal gun owners. And like you said, and I say it's illegal guns because it doesn't matter if you have a permit or not. The gun has to be registered to you. If the gun's not registered to you, it's an illegal gun.
Oh, how could you say that?
I know, I'm an asshole. Let's see here. I did have a couple of these stats pulled up here before where it's like they were talking about mass shootings and whatnot. Number one being California. Texas was number two, but Texas was number two again because of the fact that Uvalde and like El Paso and whatnot. Like, so again, mass shootings and also the context of those matter. Florida, when it came to the nightclub shooting, so like, you had Aurora and whatnot in Colorado. So like a lot of these, can you really peg this on like actual like responsible gun owners for why there's more shootings and whatnot? Absolutely not. This is all just to make people scared of guns.
Yeah, and honestly, I think people need to be scared of idiots with guns.
Yes,
people that aren't trained, that don't know what they're doing. Then yes, exactly. And people like, like you were saying about your wife, like being, not liking guns or being a little scared, whatever. Same thing with Jen. She is not the biggest fan of guns, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't understand the necessity to be able to defend yourself. And also she has horrible aim. She is a horrible shot. We have a Red Ryder BB gun. I swear she does not. I cover my nuts when I'm behind her. Like it's not.
Well, you should just go and take a safety course. Like go and take a safety course together. And then like, honestly, you'll go to the range. You'll spend like an hour at the range and like you'll be like, wow, this is fun, and like now I feel so much more comfortable around weapons.
I'll just have to get her drunk and then we'll go. I mean, that's probably not
terrible decision. Ian didn't mean that, everybody. He didn't mean it. Florida,
shoot him in the air. Come on.
Yeah, pew pew pew.
Those bullets come down, dumbass.
My favorite was always Homer Simpson when like he joined the NRA and like he was like opening up, he was changing the channel by shooting the TV, and then like he opens his beer by like shooting like the edge of it, like pew.
So good. So good.
I was like, oh my God. And like, hey, Homer, you're being an irresponsible gun owner. He's like, oh, really? And they like shamed him. He went outside and then they're inside shooting the guns. Pew, pew, pew.
Idiots. Bunch of idiots.
Anyway, so like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has called on the state legislation to prioritize permitless carry legislation this year. Individuals do not currently need a permit to buy or own a gun in Florida, but they are required to have a concealed carry permit to carry a firearm in public. Governor DeSantis wants to change this in 2023. Okay, sounds fine.
Yeah.
And no, you don't need a permit to buy a gun. Like you need to just be of a certain age and have a driver's license. And also you need to actually live in, you're supposed to be able to live in that state. You're supposed to be in the state.
My opinion on it is I do think a background check, a like mental health, something should be done.
There is.
Well, what I'm saying is just blanket statements. Obviously there's a constitution. We all have the right to keep and bear arms and shall not be infringed. But I do not think mental cases need to have firearms. I don't think that that's a good idea, and I don't think felons should have firearms because they've given up their right based on their own actions to get in the way of them being able to have that
proven
right
to be irresponsible.
Exactly. So
I 100% agree. And the fact is that you can put your mind at ease because, in these states where like, you don't need a permit to buy because, states permit to buy is like New York and New Jersey. But like in every other, in all the states, a background check is always required because like they call in your driver's license. They look to see if you have outstanding warrants or if you are an ex-con. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just want to finish what I'm saying real quick. I know you have a lot of information on this, and I know you want to get that out, but let me get a point in, and then it's all you. I'm just saying background check is just smart because obviously you have your rights. You're able to do that. But I think, we do need to keep society safe as well. And that doesn't mean that having people, intelligent and trained people that have guns good guys have the guns, then bad guys won't, want to use them because they obviously know that they're outgunned.
Yeah.
But I think that a background check is a positive thing, which obviously I know the propaganda and the false information, the fake news on that is that there's no background check. There's obviously a background check. I just think there's different, I obviously think that, there's things you can look at and discuss and debate, obviously, but that doesn't mean that, saying false information or disinformation or whatever you want to call it is a right avenue to go down. So I don't know. I don't. And I think if you're a felon, you lost your right. Sorry, that happens. If you have been in a mental institution, I think there should be more at any point in your life. I think there should be a drastically more intense check on your character and on your mental health. Period.
Agreed.
So there you go. Sorry. I had to get that out. Now it's all you.
Okay. Now I just want to wrap this one up though, just because I know we're kind of cutting close on time here, but so according to John Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions, firearm licensing laws are among the most effective policies at reducing both firearm homicides and suicides. All right, let's just go through the whole thing. In Connecticut, for example, the firearm licensing law implemented in 1995 led to 28% reduction in the state's firearm homicide rate and a 33% reduction in the state's firearm suicide rate from 1996 to 2017. Now, the thing with that again is maybe the suicide thing, I could see maybe that being something just because maybe you're a legal gun owner and depression and all that type of stuff. I'm not one to judge, but I'm just saying that when they try to throw these homicide percentages out there, they act as if that has anything to do with criminals. Criminals do not obey these fucking laws.
And one thing I would like to know is, okay, so it was a 28% reduction in the state's firearm homicide rate. Okay, so how much did the knife homicide rate go up or the choking homicide rate go up because they can't use guns now, right? Or, it's a less ability to. And how much, and it was a 33% reduction in the state's firearm suicide rate from 1996 and 2017. Okay, again, but what about the rates of, hanging suicides or drowning or, taking pills or any a knife to the neck or slitting wrists? What are the rates that went up as opposed
in a more in-depth study? I'm sure you could get all that type of information. This is just on the gun stuff, and it leaves a lot to the imagination as to what the actual real answer is in this stuff. It's they're not going to give you the full picture. This picture right here is just to make you fear guns more. That's all this is trying to do. The United States has a gun problem, that much is clear. When lawmakers further exacerbate the problem by allowing individuals with no firearms training to carry concealed, loaded weapons in public, it puts millions of Americans at risk. It should not be a controversial take to say that if you want to carry a loaded gun in public, you should have a license to do so. Now, the thing is all right, if you want to make having permit carry a thing throughout the entire country, again, all the legal gun owners are going to do it. They're all going to go through and jump through whatever hoops it's required to kind of get that stuff completed. Now, when you say shall not be infringed upon, when you're saying that whole it shall not be infringed upon, as long as you're not making it impossible to get a gun like it is currently in New Jersey or New York without being police, then I don't see the issue with a permit. But because again, your legal gun owners are going to do what they got to do to be able to carry and feel that they can defend themselves. That's fine. I just think that our 2A rights are covered in the constitutional carry. It's up to the individual to make sure that they are trained and responsible gun owners.
It's almost like these politicians and government officials, they don't understand how an amendment process works. It's weird. It's like we have this process where you can make an amendment to something, but they don't ever do that. They just bitch about it on Twitter.
Yeah, and I know it's very libertarian of me to just kind of be like, well, you know what? The individual is responsible for making sure that they are trained and know how to operate their weapon. But like, that's the truth of it. Like if we have the right to carry it, we need to be responsible with what we're wielding.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's controversial. That should not it shouldn't be this controversial to ask people to get permits. It's like it shouldn't be controversial to allow people to be able to have guns responsibly.
All of those people that are pushing all that shit are the same ones that have armed security.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are living in they have 24-hour security going around, and they're living in states where there's tons of gun laws and all types of things. So they're sitting pretty, and they have tons of money, so they can afford that type of protection around the clock. The rest of us, if we hear a bump in the night, we got to be ready to roll in our underwear.
Okay, so I have a tweet.
We got to get some funnies then too, because then I got to roll.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna say this right now. This is I'm gonna read the original tweet, and then I'm gonna read what I tweeted on the Whiskey Capitalist, and then I'm not going to show the video until I'm done doing that because I want the shock value. Do not look downstairs in the backstage.
I've seen this, I know, but it's okay. I'm gonna enjoy it anyway.
Okay, so Rep Rosa DeLaura criticizes Rep Kevin McCarthy for reportedly promising to cap spending at the 2022 levels in exchange for votes. McCarthy traded funding that helps communities, that protects our national security for personal gain, according to her. Quote, my take, she's mad about the cut of mental health funding, because that's what she says in the video, because, well, do we even need to finish the joke? She is more proof that we are living in a real life Gotham City. Here we go. Let's just do this real quick. What the fuck?
I'll get you next time, Batman.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that hairstyle does not match the scary skin on her hands. Just wait for it.
Is that Falcor on her throw over?
She's wearing a leather jacket and a gray leather jacket and some throw around. Looks like she got it out of Nancy Pelosi's Kwanzaa collection. And then what are those glasses? Is this Harry Carey? What's going on here?
As I said, it's defense, national security, military.
How many rings do you need, bitch?
Ability. And again, I make reference to service members and their families. The funds that they rely
I think we found a new Pelosi.
on. This is cuts to VA medical care.
We got this dingleberry back here.
Now, I hear what she's saying initially when it comes about cutting any kind of VA healthcare and whatnot. That's still an important subject, but where she goes with it is what's wrong with the argument.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. Mental health services, the homeless assistance programs that ensure
What is this one? What is this ring for? It covers half her goddamn hand. Look at that thing.
It's for when she's putting her emblem into the wax when she's doing signed messages, send a raven to Winterfell.
Dude, is she in a fight club? Is those brass knuckles? What is going on, dude? I know the Washington, D.C. crime rate is super high, but what is going on?
Unhoused veterans.
Oh, she's got COVID.
Will be making serious cuts to law.
Why aren't they wearing masks?
Enforcement.
I'm
These
offended.
spending cuts harm families, communities throughout the U.S. that are already struggling with inflation and the cost of living.
Because your president did the inflation.
It is not.
Okay, we're done with that. I can't look at Two-Face over here, the Riddler, whatever you want to call it.
Get a good name for that one.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think that there was anything. Let me see. There might have been some funnies. Oh, dude, this one's great.
You just missed it, Jens. We were just talking about it. What's her name? It was Representative
Rosa de Crazy. I don't know.
Rosa de Crazy.
Yeah.
Rosa de Crazy bitch.
Yeah. Here we go. Did you see this?
Not yet. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Is he holding his shoulder? You good, bro? I got you. Don't fall over. Keep it in one spot. It's much easier to clean this way.
Wait for it. Wait for the takedown. Wait for the takedown.
Wait, why didn't he just like try and hit them? Oh, and they moved him at least. Oh, that was nice.
Well, they moved him, but they didn't let him put his dick back in his pants. You know, he fell straight down on that little thimble.
If this guy was really drunk, he would have lifted it up and like, just try to get him real quick with whatever was left.
Yes, that is totally Cruella. She totally is going after Dalmatians for sure. For sure. I think that was the last one that I had.
Cool. We'll leave it with that one then. That's pretty good.
I don't know. Someone
and he was pissing like a fucking racehorse, dude. Like that guy had to go.
Yeah, dude.
And the fact that the usher there or whatever, like the guy in like the red jacket, just holding his shoulder, like, I got you, bro. Don't just let it flow. It's all good, man. It's like was it Dumb and Dumber when like he's like, I gotta go, just go, man, just go. That's kind of warm.
So we have some great comments on that on Cruella DeVille. 97-year-old Billie Eilish is right. There's
like
movies.
That one.
They don't care about vets. They want to house illegals. They're new voter based. What a freak show. True. And someone elected that thing. I'm sorry. That wins. But okay. I am good if you are, sir.
Yeah, I'm good. Because I'm gonna be going over and being on the Bellwether Ritual live stream on their Instagram in the next 15 minutes. So I gotta go and recharge the batteries and get ready to talk for another hour after this one as well.
And we do have the link in the description on Rumble and on YouTube. If you want to go and on the tweet of the Twitter live stream one and go add a tweet to it to put that link on there, that would probably be a good idea.
Cool.
Thank y'all for tuning into the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below and let us know what you think. Also, there are some things we're going to be doing with production and stuff once the Movies America stuff, which we'll put this up right now. Movies America, www.moviesamerica.com. Once all that content is out, we're going to be doing some housekeeping and some behind the scenes stuff and production and all that. And one thing I would like to know from our viewers that have been with us for a little bit, let us know what segments you like. And what we can do, there was something we were doing with Til Death Podcast, doing Tool of the Week, which I think was pretty fun. We just did it a couple of times, and then kind of, we lost it. But yeah, I think that would be fun. And story time, I think that'll be good. Any other suggestions? Either DM us, send us something on Twitter, anything like that. But yeah. Also, make sure to go to solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist for all of our links and how to stay up to date with us. bit.ly/the Whiskey Capitalist merch to check out our fully stacked merch store. Solo.to/Til Death Studios for any digital design work that you need, or any consultation or anything about live streaming, anything like that. If you're liking what we're doing here, send us a message. Check out solo.to/Til Death Podcast. Check out the podcast with my wife where we talk about marriage shit and fart jokes and dick jokes and all the good stuff. And Shawn can give you a little information here.
Solo.to/I'm Shawn Cav for all my social links, everything about Sippin with Shawn and anything else I got going on at that time. Like I said, in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to be over on the Bellwether Ritual live stream. So you can go and I'll make sure to post the link on the bottom of this thing on Twitter and all that. So it'll be up there in just a few minutes. And I think that's pretty much it, right?
All right. Well, we are going to be signing off for the night. Actually, check out Til Death at Til Death Network on Twitter as well. Go follow, share, do all that stuff. That's where we have all of our shows, all the info on that. And with that, we're going to sign off for the end of the night. You know what?
How dare you?
We're gonna get out of here. Peace, bro. I'm trying to end it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why is it not ending? It's not ending. I don't know what's happening here, guys. Oh my God. What's going on? And bro.